Couple of things I wanted to take a look at today. We had one from Bill Stack's channel that I want to check out. It's a conversation he has with a guy. Guy says he's a former king from the South Side. He has a Kato story that involves the twins and that involves Val. I want to see what y'all think about it.
Me and my wife started writing. I wrote one screenplay before I met her, and I actually, had the Kings bring in Kato, and Kato was DMX's. I'm in a DMX video too. R. Kelly, DMX, and Fat Joe. Just a cameo in the DMX one, but that's the Kato one. So Kato was.
So let me give you a quick background of what he said in the story. Former Chicago bad guy. Went to prison, did his thing, turned good guy. He's a background actor and a stunt actor and an actor now, so I guess he's done it all in the game. And he writes, and this is a story about him writing a screenplay, and then them bringing him to Kato.
I wrote one screenplay before I met her, and I actually, had the Kings bring in Kato, and Kato was DMX's. I'm in a DMX video too. R. Kelly, DMX, and Fat Joe. Just a cameo in the DMX.
I want to look for these cameos. I want to find them.
But that's the Kato one. So Kato cameo in the DMX one. But that's the Kato one. So Kato was Rudy Rangel was a Latin king. He was from Leclerc Courts originally, and that's how I'd met him when he was little shorty. He was doing a film.
I always got to question it when somebody has to qualify something and say, I knew him when he was a shorty. He was just a shorty to me. You know what I'm saying? I always got to question that. I always got to question that. That's a character flag to me, a character red flag to me, and I always got to question that. You know what I mean? Why you son him? Now, if that's the real case, knew him when he was a shorty, cool. But if the math ain't mathing, I don't know how old Buddy is or whatever, but if the math ain't mathing, I always got to question that type of talk. That's like when Sammy said, they brought him in here, they make a big hubbub like they were some big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like they were heavyweights. Every time you do that, I got to question your intention.
He was doing films with drug money for DMX. And so he had produced a couple of films.
Is that what was happening? This guy got all the answers over here. That's not incriminating at all. Hold on.
He's doing films with drug money for DMX. And so he had produced a couple of films, and I thought, I'm going to get this guy to do our film. And I actually wrote it for DMX and everything else. And we had a meeting, and I got to do the Chicago look around. So,
yeah, so do I. So do I. Salute think like a kingpin in the chat. He put the cap up. The caps are already up. Everybody else, give me your vote, man. Y'all let me know as we go through. If you smell some capping, you throw some caps out there.
and I probably shouldn't, but I got to wrote it for DMX and everything else. And we had a meeting, and I got to do the Chicago look around. So, and I'm going to tell you this, and I probably shouldn't, but they can't do anything to me anyway. So Rudy says, I don't go into business without some guarantees. And the way the game works and everything is you got to out extort the other guy. I got something on you. You got something on me. We can't rat. But if I come up on you, if I'm higher than you, now I got a little leverage on you. So I can do things. So
yeah, but what are we talking about here? Are y'all going to pull a roll on somebody? Are y'all going to take somebody out? Are you Tony Soprano and Big Ussy while they had Calogero from Bronx Tales sitting in the chair drinking that unsweetened soda, and they both had to take a shot so that they had that kind of leverage on each other? Or are you making a movie? You know what I'm saying? Like, which one is it? What are we talking about here?
He wanted leverage on me, and he says, you're gonna rob 2 drug dealers. I want you to rob a drug dealer that first. He goes, I don't care how big they are, but I want to see what they got and blah blah blah, and tell me a story about it. He said, and then I'm gonna have you rob one of the guys that I choose.
This is like the ghetto Squid Games right here. You got to do missions. You got to hit the big boss before you come back.
And if he says the minute you get done coming back from the second job, he says, I'll sign that contract right now and finance the whole film. And this was millions of dollars. He was down to do it.
That's a movie in itself right there. Let's make that movie. I'm going to write that movie, all right? It's like the Game of Death, man. It's like Bruce Lee. Was it Game of Death where he had to go up all the floors and fight all the bosses? Where, yeah, we're going to do this business deal, but first, like this is straight out of Power. Like first, I need you to go hit somebody of your choosing, and then you're going to go hit somebody of my choosing, and then we're going to do legitimate business.
And this was millions of dollars. He was down to do it. So we went, and I got a crew together, and we went, and I was going to rob the 2-6 and then Satan's disciples, and I'm thinking, all right, well, we're going to get killed. There was a bunch of Polish immigrants that had a club, a disco club, and they were always in there selling coke.
Was it the infamous 1-2-3 Club? You remember the 1-2-3 Club? I think like Kingpin said, he's a writer, so it's a story. It's his story, right? That makes sense. But damn, I'm a writer too, not a bold-faced liar. But if that's what people do, it is what it is. I'm not saying do the bold-faced liar. I wasn't there. I don't know the story. I just tell you what it sounded like to me. And again, he's a writer, so it might be his story.
Okay, they used to buy coke from me.
1-2-3 Club.
There was a bunch of Polish immigrants that had a club, a disco club, and they were always in there selling coke, and they used to buy coke from me, and they would always be in there. So I thought, I'm going to rob these guys. They're not organized. You know, there's no way that could do it. So we got DEA vests. You know, bought them on some online cop thing. Had zip ties.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Was Amazon delivering 24 hours back then? You get you a little cop uniform offline? I don't know. Possibly. I mean, I could ask Alexa, but I don't trust her that much either. But they ordered some police uniforms online.
You know, bought them on some online cop thing. Had zip ties, came in with the guns and the masks, and you know, we're robbing the place. And I told these guys on my crew, I said, don't rob anything else. Don't rob no TVs. Don't take their jewelry. So the minute we got the drugs and everything else, and they're zip tied on the ground, we're getting ready to leave, and these fools are out robbing everything. And you could see the two guys on the ground looking at each other like they knew it was fraud now. And that means we have less time to get away, and that means more trouble. So we got away.
So wait, now it's fraud now? Well, yeah, I get it. Yeah, you still they can't call the law over dope, but they could call the law over TVs, right? But y'all still got them right there hemmed up. So how does that keep you from getting away? Are you talking about later? You talking about in the long term? What do you think? Those guys are going to worry about those TVs and give up their whole... I don't understand what you're saying, but then again, I'm probably just clueless. Y'all tell me, I might be wrong.
They knew it was fraud now, and that means we have less time to get away, and that means more trouble. So we got away. I gave the stuff to Kato, and he gave me the names of the guys that he wanted me to rob. And
all right, here we go. Now, I like to take what we've learned from these podcasts and what I've learned from these podcasts, these interviews, these interactions, these conversations. I like to take what I've learned and deduct things and see what other people say. And it's not hard sometimes to pick up that somebody's just has taken the rumors, put them together, and then made them part of their story. It feels like that sometimes. So I need to know if that's what this is. Let's see.
He gave me the names of the guys that he wanted me to rob and an arrangement. And who's El Guapo? What's his?
All right, so El Guapo, right? There's this guy named El Guapo, right? I don't know if y'all heard of him. Big time. Bigger than Chapo, bigger than everybody. His name is El Guapo. In Spanish, El Guapo. In case y'all didn't know, just a little background, there's this guy out there named El Guapo.
Who's El Guapo? What's his name? Guzman?
El Chapo Guzman.
These guys are the guys that eventually ended up killing Kato. He got shot like 15 times in a bar.
He said that matter-of-factly, you know what I'm saying? He says that matter-of-factly like he has all the information, right? But these guys, they worked with El Guapo.
These guys are the guys that eventually ended up killing Kato. He got shot like 15 times in a barber chair in the neighborhood. The names of the guys that eventually came out, I just found, not like 2 years ago, found out that they were working for El Chapo. They were Latin Kings.
Then they were. I've always heard they had no affiliation. Again, same as with the Spider Loc story about the chain. Who am I going to believe? somebody that's actually doing research, somebody that has new information, somebody that has information that nobody else has, or people that can't get the smallest details of a story that's a real story that have to do with real human beings. They can't get the story together. And again, I take this personally because I look at T Streets. People can say what they want. You can go to my Zach TV playlist, The Tragic Death of Zach TV. I feel like the internet took part, as well as the streets do it, just dummies, just pushing information that's wrong and people dying over it. It happens. So this guy's made some crazy claims, all right? He made the claim that he had to go hit somebody, and then K was going to get him to hit somebody. Also that he could make a movie with him. Okay, that's number one. Number two, he found out that they were Latin Kings. We know that's not true. Yeah, their brothers are fitted. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing when your brothers want. I know dudes that are in the same family, that are in the same household, that are two different. One got to go across the street, the other one got to go across the street. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying that they Latin Kings. We haven't heard that. And he's saying matter-of-factly that Val was feeding them information and that K robbed the twins for whatever amount of bricks and work or whatever. But this guy's making a whole bunch of claims here. And he claims that they were working for El Chapo. So I need to figure out what's really going on here.
Information. They were Latin Kings, and they were getting information from his wife, and he stole drugs from them. So he was trying to get me to rob people he stole drugs from, and he already stole drugs. You know, he was going to have me killed.
Okay.
Maybe he was going to take my. I don't know.
Maybe.
Put it this way: wasn't a good idea. If you already robbed him and they killed him, and he wanted me to rob him,
huh?
I don't know. You know, whatever. I'm glad he got killed before I robbed him.
Wow.
Put it that way.
So you held up half of the bargain, and you gave him all of that, and then you didn't do the second job, and then he died. And then so you just turned over all of that to him, and you got nothing out of the deal? No movie, no nothing? Oh, man. Also in the chat said Buddy got his own script. Man, we need to get it produced, man. We need a producer. Somebody get a producer on the line right now.
I got a picture of Kato right here.
Yeah, Kato was Rudy Rangel. He's got credits in some of the DMX films. There you go. That's my boy, yeah. Yeah, look at him throwing up. That's his wife, too.
What? That's his wife? That's Val right there? The one in the middle? I see Dog. I see K. I see on the back. Who's that? That's Val in the middle? Stop. Val will flip a TV over if she hear this. If you ever flip a TV over if she see this, and she's not the TV flipper. I know Val will flip a TV. She'll flip a TV she see this. So that's more of the story right there. That's more story right there.
My boy, yeah. Look at him throwing up. That's his wife, too. Let's see who's
so he got killed.
Yeah, that's his wife? Come on, man.
Yeah, from what I understand, his wife got some four-corner hustlers for these Gomez brothers or whoever they were.
So it was not even the Flores twins. It's the Gomez brothers that worked with El Chapo that did all of this, man. Think like Kingpin said, Twin and Kato got bad taste. If this picture tell it, look at this picture. Who's this lady? Now, mind you, I've seen this picture blurred out a lot. I'm sure this lady don't want her face everywhere in this picture. She took it, though, so she wildin'. But he got the facts wrong. It's definitely not Val.
That's his wife, too. Let's see who's
so he got killed.
Yeah, from what
Val somewhere punching the air right now.
I understand, his wife got some four-corner hustlers for these Gomez brothers or whoever they were. He's a straight dude. He used to go into LeClaire Courts, and I used to sell a lot of things in LeClaire Courts. It wasn't far. The project's not far. I was the only white dude that would, go in there. A lot of people got killed, I mean, they wouldn't kill me because I had the good dope. You're kind of protected, and if it's like you kill me, you ain't gonna get no more dope. So,
it's a dangerous game, man. It's a dangerous game.
Again, I don't know the man. I don't know nothing about the man. I'm sure I could run into the man under certain circumstances. He's an actor. I'm an actor. It is what it is. But in my opinion, I just don't buy it. There's probably something there, something way smaller than that. But there's just too many. Come on, man. He done put Val on that lady. He done said he had to go through the game of death to get a movie done. And And he matter-of-factly said that she set them up with them to do this to him for that. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the hat. I don't know what's bothering me, but the math ain't mathing. It ain't gelling over here. Everybody wants to, everybody's out there getting interviewed. I don't understand what everybody getting interviewed about, but everybody's out there getting interviewed. Everybody has to have a story. Everybody has to have something to say. Sometimes they got to dig in the bag and make up something, or add a little grease on something, or add a little more on something, add a little, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is, but I got a million stories trapped in the back of my brain. I'd never even imagined coming out of my face with them on camera. You know what I'm saying? The people that do, and the people that are quick to do so, and then if their story sounds grandiose to me, like the twin story, that sounds grandiose, right? But that story's been vetted through a whole lot of different channels, And I don't mean YouTube channels. But when you're on YouTube, there's people out there saying whatever they want. Everybody got a story that don't match or add up. And also, again, everybody's going to have their perception. You'll have two guys, one could clearly win the fight, and the other one just say, nah, I ain't lose nothing. It just sounds a little far-fetched to me. Think like a kingpin said, the twin story is vetted through the feds. Absolutely. This guy right here, I got to go read a report or something, see what he talking about. I'd rather not say nothing. I'd rather not open my mouth with somebody's name. But then he thinks to himself, the twins are in the wind, Val's in the wind, K's gone. Who's here to validate my story? He ain't counting on me sitting here saying, I don't know, not that I matter. I don't matter. They would make it seem that way, though. People get bent out of shape, man. They want to give you reasons why it looked the way it looked. Well, I see it how I saw it.